Hi, this is just your friendly neighborhood anime reviewer, and I just wanted to discuss a little bit the prerequisites that a lot of people debate about when fully appreciating Gundam Unicorn. And I think I have some insight into that as I just watched the black sheep of the series, which is Double Zeta. And that is the one that a lot of people really want to skip because of a lot of, I don't know, a lot of people just think it's not very good, I guess. And as someone who just saw the entire series, I might be able to shed some light on that. For starters, I would definitely recommend the original full series. I mean, you can watch the compilation movies too if you're really in a hurry to get the unicorn, but there's just so much here in the original series that I love that has been cut that I personally would watch the full series, especially since it's one of my favorite installments in the entire Gundam universe. But then I would definitely watch the sequel series, Zeta Gundam. It's a fantastic series, and I would definitely recommend that. Next up, of course, is the missing link, as I have here, Double Zeta. Now, there is a lot of things that are more relevant in the second half, it seems. Things really pick up, and apparently that was because Char's counterattack film was green lit at the time, so the focus really had to change and kind of get any of the audience that's still sticking around prepared for the upcoming film. Now, that said, there really isn't much in Double Zeta that's relevant to Char's counterattack, as a lot of people have said. There are a few things, I think, that sort of reference it. Like, apparently Double Zeta was meant to be Char's counterattack all along, from what I understand. It was meant to be more of a true sequel to the original Zeta and kind of be more directly related without feeling more like a standalone series, I guess. But I don't want to give any spoilers. I mean, there are some key people who pass away, and one of those said people is on a special feature on Unicorn, actually. They mentioned one of the key players that pass away, so. But here is Char's counterattack, which follows next. And Sayla did make a little cameo appearance, and her and Bright were talking, and they did make a reference that they don't know what Char is up to, but knowing Char, he must be up to something. And that, to me, suggested a reference to this upcoming film, which was planned at the time. So now we get... Oh, so basically, to sum that up, I will say it's kind of 50-50. I mean, the more expanded universe you take in, I think the more you're going to appreciate Gundam Unicorn in general. And I think the same can be said for even some of the things that came out, or at least this one thing that came out after Gundam Unicorn, which is Gundam The Origin. And there's two versions of that, of course, as well. There's the 13-episode series, Advent of the Red Comet, and then the original 6-episode OVA series, Gundam The Origin. They're basically the same series. You're going to see a great series no matter which version you watch. Advent of the Red Comet seems to be a little bit more abridged. They cut out a few things here and there. Either one is going to be great. I honestly really like the music openings and closings in Advent of the Red Comet that are not in the original 6-episode OVA series. So that's one thing that I really miss. But if you want to see more of the show, definitely see the original version. But again, it came out after Unicorn, but it still has such awesome expanded universe moments. It's a prequel series, so even though it came out after Unicorn, it's still worth watching to paint a more full picture. And I even recommend that too, but since it came out after Gundam Unicorn, it's kind of silly for me to say it's a prerequisite. But here we get to Char's counterattack. Great movie, and it covers a lot of the key things that happened just before Unicorn. But what's interesting is apparently there was a novel version called Beltorchka's Children, which is what this movie is based on. And sure enough, there are some differences that apparently Unicorn followed the book novel version more closely than the film version. So this one will still get you prepared. It's all I know. But there are some good articles you can find online that discuss the few differences that do exist. They're not huge, but they might be worth knowing about. Either way, the film is an awesome addition to the series, as are all these. So I would say, bare minimum, condensed movie trilogy, Zeta, and Char's counterattack. But my version is going to be a little stricter. I would say full series Zeta, Char's counterattack, and of course a double Zeta if you want even a little bit more, if you want just one extra push. It's not 100% required, but there are some things that Unicorn does reference in it. More so than Char's counterattack. But what I would also suggest is the OVA trilogy. The OVA trilogy is fantastic. All of them. They don't directly pertain to the story leading up to Unicorn, but there is so much wonderful expanded universe here, I can't help but recommend these. This is War in the Pocket. One of my favorites for sure. It's only 6 episodes, but it's fantastic. And this is Memory Stardust. This is also a fantastic series. And then finally, 8th MS Team. This is extremely well liked in the Gundam community, and I can't recommend this one enough either. There's so much heart and emotion in this one, and it's just great all around. So I would recommend all those even. So everything you see here, I would say is essential, and you might even want to consider just pushing through Double Zeta once, because there are some key points referenced in Unicorn. So anyway, that is what I would recommend as far as what are good prerequisites for appreciating Gundam Unicorn to its fullest. It's a masterpiece of a series, I would admit. It's just so good all around. It's just the music, the atmosphere, the tone. It's so mature. In fact, the director also directed Daeon, Chevalier Daeon, which is an incredible series too, which is just so mature, so thoughtful, and it just puts so much characterization and tone over just mindless action and things like that. So anyway, that's my rundown. Thank you very much for joining and hanging out.